Like so. Well, the Soviets are coming for us again, but we seem to be holding pretty darn steady now, and in fact our combat strength is way up. So how's this looking? 1,900 defensiveness for this Polish unit. Do I have radio? Yeah, ages ago. Because we seem to have really poor initiative.
Let's go!
Because it's very often these guys fighting and then the shock troops just never get in. Which irritates me a little bit because it's the shock troops that have the anti-tank equipment. Oh, now we do. Here we go. This division can actually pierce all of our armor. So you guys must still be lacking heavy tank destroyers. You are. Alright. Oh, just sank another bunch of Italians. Good. Our defenses down here are still quite poor. I think that's because a bunch of these guys keep going out and getting repaired. Definitely been taking losses to enemy naval bombers. And port strikes. Don't cancel that, don't cancel that, don't cancel that. Okay, it's just no ship. We're good. How come the Allies are at war with the Soviets? Because the Soviets declared war on Poland. Because Germany didn't declare war on Poland until December, I think, 1940. Like, it was a super late war. And Germany has not gone to war with the Soviets yet, either. Nope, keep going. How the blazes did they get a port here? You have one job. One. Stop them getting the ports.
Attention! Ready!
How have you failed at this?
Move out!
One task. One!
Move out! Move out! Move out! Ready, sir! Moving back! Ready,
Stop
sir!
stopping.
Move out!
Because look, they keep on shipping more units in, and this is causing the same problem all over again. Oh, come on, you morons. Literally one job. Don't let them take the ports. No! There! Oh, come on! Okay.
Ready!
Cancel those orders. Gotta go and deal with this. Again. At least it's not Saigon now. Right, who's the reliable port protector? It's you lot. Who's this? How many troops do you need for this? 31. Okay. Really? 31? Alright then. Oh, Malaysia! Oops. Hi. I want your entire army, please.
Orders.
Thank you. Saigon 2.0. Yeah, this really is. I just dealt with this. I bet France is sitting in Africa, sipping wine, enjoying watching the British horror stories from the Vietnam campaign. Well, France is doing their own work here, trying to take out Vichy France in Africa. Like this, I refuse to fight here because I know how brutal this fight is. I want to have nothing to do with this war at all.
Ready to move. Attention.
Yes, please take the train.
Ready.
So why are you going up here? That's not your job. Your job is purely to defend the naval bases. That's all I want you to do.
Fall in.
So why are you doing all of this? That's not your job. That's why it was saying it needed so many troops. Alright, sod this.
Ready, sir.
This task is not fit for purpose. Oh, that's Dutch. Okay. I was like, how has Japan got this? It's like right under my nose. But no, it's not. Defend those. Is that both of them? Because I don't think it's both of them. Now it's both of them. Then that. In fact, just
Yes, sir.
all of you unassigned.
Come on.
You two. 3, 4, there's assigned to that.
Listen up.
You two assigned to that.
Ready, sir.
You two. Assigned to that.
Come on.
You two. Assigned to that.
Ready, sir. Yes, sir. Fall in.
Sod it. I'm putting 4 in Saigon. Then any of you who are left,
Listen up. Listen up.
that's too many.
Yes, sir. Let them have it. Orders. Ready. Attention.
Okay. This is going to be a long game. Well, it's a good thing that we have Road to 56 then, isn't it? Because the timeline in this stretches all the way to 56, and there are technologies which go all the way to 56. How are people's manpower doing in the meantime? Germany's 1.5, Soviets have lost 2.8 now. Japan's lost almost 1 million. Then again, I suspect that the USA probably has too. Of course, they've not exactly been careful. at least there aren't just long streams of troops coming across the Pacific anymore.
Attention!
Oh, this is you. Okay. Oh, they've really reduced their defenses down here. Go, 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 go. Take stuff back, please. Does the USSR have a focus to attack the Germans? Pretty sure they do. Further the progress cult. They're doing everything they possibly can to not fight each other, though. I mean, it does make sense. More Japan, more Germany. They've just not taken them. And Germany is now trying to befriend Iran. They've already taken the focus to invade the Soviets. They just haven't done it. Same as they never invaded France. Or Poland. January. 43 means you. Efficiency cap and growth versus retention and cap. Growth. And fuel. The last of the fuel upgrades. Although we've been okay for fuel for a while, so I think we can reduce the amount of fuel we're importing from America again. Although we are exceptionally short on steel. And chromium. In fact, just everything. Well, I guess we're getting a lot more factories working now. So the fact that we're low on stuff doesn't really surprise me. You know what? I do not need that much. Buy it from the British Raj instead. Sank another group of submarines. Whenever they try to do anything naval related, it's just like, no. Just no. We've got this pretty much locked down now, so just no. Oh, they'd actually pushed us back. Huh. Interesting.
Ready!
If we just walk straight across here, then all of this is cut off. Works for me. Gonna have to move the Norway army. Why? Oh, because of Iran. Well, that's just befriending. That doesn't necessarily mean flipping. Although they are getting fascist support. I mean, one thing that we could do is boost their own democratic support. To counter it. And I'd kind of like to do that to Iran as well, I think. Now, one thing I do need to double check is my occupation policies, because they should be on gent list. Not that we are occupying very much. Yet. And then the other thing, the other thing that we can do is get a chief of the army, which was going to be Brooke, so we can have that extra movement. Oh, they counterattacked. Disappointed! Meanwhile, down here, we've taken a province, we're about to take a second. Progress. Progress is progress.
Orders! Fall in!
Okay, they're moving their aircraft now. At least it's not over the English Channel anymore. Upgraded trucks. We probably do need to start thinking quite seriously about mechanized to save manpower. We also really need to start thinking about a medium tank breakthrough force. Meanwhile, shortages. We have a surplus of guns, surplus of artillery, shortage of motorized, shortage of heavy tanks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop you back down to 3, I'm going to drop you back down to 3, we're going to increase you to that, keep you at 5, and I'll have you as a single line. And then after this, we can just keep beefing up fighter and dive bomber production. Though the dive bomber production's been pretty good. We need a lot more chromium. South Africa, thank you very much. Right. So we have lots and lots of guns, so we could produce another set of British basic infantry. Like these infantry. You know what? How many do we need? 7. And then we'll have a full 24. Malaysia requests naval autonomy. Despite the relative distance between the Home Office and our Asian territories, the control over our naval presence in the region still lies in London, not Singapore. Citing the inefficiency of such an arrangement and the benefits to naval control in the region, Far East Command has requested that we transfer control of a portion of the Asian Navy to the British Malayan control. No, I'm good. That's one thing I do not trust the AI not to screw up. Also... oh, they're actually protecting both of those provinces, fair enough. Where are my Marines? Are they still training? Yeah, they're still training. I may kind of sort of forgotten about you guys. Bringing the Marines out here could actually be very, very useful, actually. Because then we can just hit them ports as the Japanese try to come in. Which would definitely have a lot of benefits. Right, we are going to do some more extraction campaigns. Oh, we could take control of the Dutch Navy. I wonder how much they have left. Now, would that give me Helfrich? They have no ships left. Oh, that's Dutch East Indies, not the Netherlands. 42 ships. They actually have a fair number. And a large portion of those are probably submarines. Missed the beginning. Am I posting this series to YouTube? Possibly. Subs are trash, not if you know how to use them. And submarines right now would actually be very, very useful for plaguing the Japanese. Although, right now, what I need is more destroyers. Because I want to expand the size of this fleet. Let's get you repairing. Because I desperately want to bring these guys into the war against Japan. or switch them for one of the other fleets. Probably this one. In fact, I should probably do that. Alright, time to do some switcheroos. You are going to become the new strike fleet in the Mediterranean, based from Tripoli, because it's nice in the middle. And then the Mediterranean fleet is going to go and cause some major damage over here, based in Singapore. Which also means I need to get more recon out as a matter of some priority. So I might actually need some more recon cruisers. Probably want to research a level 3 recon cruiser, or at least just upgrade it. Sub 3s were... funny story. So when I was at PDXCon, there was a multiplayer game which I was involved in. I was playing as Greece, and in an effort to prove everyone that subs do not suck, I went 100% submarines. And because of that, they realised, yeah, sub 3s are ever so slightly OP, and heavily nerfed them. I would highly recommend you check this video out. I need to remember where exactly that was from, because I did have a timestamp for it. Give me a second, I'll find it. Because at one point I do an enormous amount of damage, and you can just hear me laughing manically in the background. It's hilarious. And then I got a message from Daniel afterwards saying, okay, how should we fix the submarines? Like, why are they so good? It's like, it's all about the visibility. Especially when they're combined with a Admiral, which has the visibility reduction. Because my submarines in this did not have snorkels, which should have made them a lot more visible, but it didn't. Oh, whoops, this is the wrong chat channel. That would have helped. It was only a day or two ago I posted this. Do. Where is it? This is going back to Monday. I think it was around here somewhere. This is taking me a bit too long to find. Okay, I cannot remember the exact timestamp when the manic laughter began, but it's this video. I would actually recommend that whole series. So watch the entire World War PDXCon, start episode 1, go through episode 6, is actually the last one. So if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this, watch the beginning. But if you don't care about spoilers and you just want to see the murder that proper submarine use can bring, and poor destroyer use, like it kind of went hand in hand, check that video out. This was a really good game, actually. Like, the Paradox official Hearts of Iron games are usually a little bit janky, but this one was awesome. Was I on Bokun's team? No. I was the one fighting Bokun. Your maniacal laughter was the best part. Yeah, absolutely was. I was making Bo hate life. It was hilarious. He was so full of it before the game. But this was a fantastic game, though. So seriously, if you have not watched this yet, go watch from episode 1. Watch this whole series. It was a really good game, this one. Especially if you're into Hearts of Iron and you want to see, like, some fairly decent naval warfare. Well, submarine warfare. And this was not a good example of naval warfare. This was an example of harassing people with subs. But the premise was basically 3 teams. Myself, which was Bulgaria, Portugal, and Greece, versus South America, which was Venezuela, Colombia, and Brazil, versus East Asia, which was Australia, Siam, and India. And it was a scramble for Africa, so the only victory points that existed were in Africa, and the idea was to take over as much of Africa as possible, so all of the combat was in Africa. The rest of the world was just given over to Sweden, or Wales, or Denmark, because why not? So the entire game is just about trying to take over Africa, and it was really, really good, actually. But my strategy was basically, well, Africa, that means these guys have to ship people in, these guys have to ship people in. What can I use again? Oh, ships! Yeah, what if they didn't have any? Watch that series. It was a good series. And even after it, like a couple of the others, like Shenmue are saying, usually these Paradox games are absolutely awful. And this one was legitimately a lot of fun. Like, even for the people that I was harassing, because they were trying to work out how they could beat the subs. That laughter in the background is just hilarious. Yeah, that was me. What's going on in my South Africa? There's an event which says, do you want to give South Africa most of Africa so that they can worry about the defense of Africa? I was like, yes, because I do not want to deal with this. This is the worst area in the game to fight over. It's either desert or jungle. It's horrible. And there is absolutely no infrastructure here, so the attrition is just through the roof. Like, you thought the attrition we were suffering up here was bad? Oh, no. You have not seen this area. I'd much rather just let the AI deal with it. Right, new focus tree. Or new focus, rather, not tree. I think I'm actually going to start doing air production, because I do want to get more aircraft built, because we are still struggling in the skies a little. We do have some more fighters and dive bombers that we can deal with, but I'm going to call this stream here. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. Bo did have the absolute roughest time, though, being Australia and trying to colonise Africa. Yeah, true. But he had the same idea as me, which was harass us with submarines. The only problem is I know how to use destroyers, and I did. Like, the Mediterranean was just this glorious pool of safety. It was like a swimming pool. It was magnificent. So even though there were Australian submarines in there, I don't think they sank a single convoy. Just because of, like, destroyers, escort duty, done. And even though the developers do say in the commentaries, like, nobody has focused destroyers, I did. I had destroyers and I had them upgraded properly. But yeah, getting all this way is pretty difficult, but all I was actually defending at the start was here, because this is where they were shipping all their troops through. Very much enjoyed watching you struggle in Vietnam for today's stream, yeah. Urgh. Oh, thank you, Trooper. Timestamp for the manic laughter, thank me later. It was pretty funny. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to hit that follow button to get notifications when I'm live again in the future. If you've really enjoyed this, then do consider subscribing. Helps the channel out and lets me do more of this kind of content. If you want to support the channel other ways, check out the Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking. I will be back in an hour, just going to slip away and get something to eat, and then we'll be back at 10 for some Darkest Dungeon. If you want to see more of this type of thing, then head over to YouTube, which you can find at youtube.com/MordredViking. There is also a naval tutorial over there, so if any of the naval shenanigans which have been happening today, or if you want to know more about how the navies worked in the Africa game that I was just talking about, the PDX one, go check out that tutorial. It should help explain a few things. And then finally, I do have a Discord. If you wish to come and hang out with the rest of the community, you can find us over at that Discord. It's always a real pleasure to see some new faces there, so come say hello. Right, so I'm going to go off 1 hour, and we shall do some Darkest Dungeon at 10. See you then. Bye, everyone.